I don't know about you, but I spend more time picking out books than I do reading books, it feels like. Hello, how are you guys? Thank you for watching. Today we are doing my April TBR, which is a very loose hopefuls list. I think we can all agree that these videos are very up in the air and most of the times they don't go the way we plan. I also really love doing buddy reads and filling out bingo boards on my Bookstagram. I am actually hosting my very first own bingo board this month. So a lot of the books I have here are to fulfill my bingo prompts. If you don't know what a bingo board is, there's a few different ways you can do it. Some people make a board with a smaller amount of prompts. Other people make bigger bingo boards where you do have to get an actual bingo. So it kind of depends on what you do. I've chosen to do mine for April, and mine has 9 prompts. It is running through the entire month, so if you would like to participate, you can follow me. My Bookstagram is bella.and.the.books. I have 2 stacks. The first stack is going to be the books that are filling out my bingo board, and they're definitely at a higher priority. If I replace one of these, it'll still be a book along the same lines. The other one is a stack of just books that I would like to get to in general. So the first prompt is a book that has been on your TBR for over 6 months. I'm actually very excited for the book I've chosen for this. It is part of the Fairy Loot Young Adult book box, and it is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O. This is a feminist retelling of a Korean legend, and it has to do with the sea god awakening. I think it is perfect to read this time of year, and I think putting a young adult book on my list will help me get to it, because even though it is a fantasy and there is probably a lot to follow along with, overall they're usually quicker reads for me. So I'm very excited about this one. The next prompt is a 2023 release. I did this because there are 2 books coming out at the end of this month I really would like to get to, and I have a really hard time at reading books right when they come out. So hopefully this prompt convinces me to read at least one of those as soon as they arrive, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry or The Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I am so excited to read The Life of Puppets. The prompt just sounds so interesting, intriguing, different, that I do hope I get to that one. But I think it is a longer book, and I believe it comes out the 25th, so I may not be able to finish it this month. Either way, I do have a backup book, and that is Stone Cold Fox by Rachel Collar Craft. This is a thriller, and it definitely sounds like a messy, rich person type of book, which I really love. And I love the cover. I love the colors. The spine is such a bright green. It matches nothing else on my shelves. Your eye gets drawn right to it. But it is such a beautiful book. I am a little hesitant on reading this just because it is labeled as a thriller, but I don't quite understand where the thriller is going to come into play. I think if the plot and the story really does satisfy the label thriller, it's going to be an amazing book. I am planning on buddy reading this with a friend through Bookstagram, so we will see if we get to this month. So my next book prompt is a thriller or a mystery, and I do physically own a lot of these. The one I've chosen for this is No Exit by Taylor Adams, and I purchased it because when everyone was doing their recaps at the end of the year, this was in so many people's top 10s. And I think that thrillers have the hardest time with getting rated because people are so picky with what they like. Some people love a thriller with minimal characters. Some people love a bunch of characters, so you have a bunch of different suspects. Some people love an unreliable narrator, and other people really dislike it. And then people are so picky with the twists, so I think if people guess the twists, they automatically vote the book lower, or if they are not satisfied with the outcome, they vote the book lower. The fact that so many people rated this so highly, I definitely have trust that this is going to be a great book, so hopefully we do get to it. The next book I have is part of a series, so this could be the first in a series, the last, part of a duology, part of interconnected standalones. So a lot of books can fulfill this prompt. The one I'm putting on here is one that I'm hoping I can convince myself to read. I started reading it in February and got 142 pages in. I am annotating it and I just want to give it the time of day it deserves. So that is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. It is definitely my favorite book so far in the series. So I know once I find the time to really sit down, I'm going to breeze through it and probably read it in a few days. I think I'm going to start it from the beginning just so I can really appreciate it. I just get so nervous because so many people say they wish they could read this series for the first time. And since I feel such this pressure to read it correctly. Hopefully putting this on here forces me to find the time to really read it and love it like everyone else does. The next prompt is a book with water on the cover, and the book I have for this is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. This is also a thriller. I have heard great things and I've had it for a couple months, so I do plan on getting to it soon. My favorite bookish podcast is called Friends with Books Pod, and they have a lot of wonderful episodes. This is the one episode of theirs that I haven't read because it is on my TBR and I don't want it to get spoiled. So even more so, I feel like once I read this book, then I have a whole episode to listen to, so it is a win-win. The next prompt is a fantasy or retelling, and I put this on because I have a lot of Greek mythology books that I really hope to get to soon, and I think this will help force me to read them. The one I've chosen is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is probably one of the most popular books that I've seen on the internet. I know it is a sadder book, and I'm always hesitant to read sad books. It's gonna take me some convincing to read it, but I really do think I'm gonna love it, so hopefully I do get to it. The next prompt is a green or orange color, which are my two favorite colors. The one I've chosen for this is Fool Me Once by Ashley Winstead. I've had this for quite a while, and I've read her other two books. Now this is a little bit different. I know this is a rom-com, and I believe it is a second chance romance. I'm also buddy reading this with a friend, so I'm definitely going to be getting to this soon. The next prompt is a book that takes you on a trip or adventure. Now I put this on my bingo board because I love books like this, and I don't feel like I have many. So I put this on hoping that I'll indirectly get some recommendations. So the one I've chosen is The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi by Shannon something. I'm not sure how to say this name. This is a pirate book. The next pile of books I have are books that I would just like to get to. I am telling you, and I will tell you a million times, you are going to see this book on my page for so many different reasons. I'm just fascinated by it. The book is Popicho by Leon Ross. In a nutshell, this gives me Studio Ghibli vibes, and I know has magical elements, so I feel like you can't really go wrong. And I've been staring at it for months, and I think it is due time that I actually read it. The next book, I'm honestly shocked I have not read yet. Every book I've read by this author so far is 5 stars, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't think this needs much introduction or explanation. I think it is perfect for spring or summer, and I've been holding off to read it until that time, so hopefully this can be a beach book for me. This book sounds so exciting to me. That is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I know this is labeled as a cozy fantasy. Everyone that I've seen read this really loves it, so I'm excited to get to this, and I think this will be an easy, fun read to read maybe in between some of these bigger books. This next book I've had on my TBR for an embarrassingly long time. I was so excited to get this book. That is Cursed Carnival and Other Calamities by many authors, including Rick Riordan. Now, I know this is a collection of short stories, and each story has to do with a different mythology. So you get a little bit of everything, and I definitely think I'm going to read this within sections, so maybe read a short story or two at a time. Next, I have a book that I got recently, and I don't think has anything to do with spring or summer or sunshine, but honestly, the synopsis is so intriguing to me that I just really want to pick it up soon. That is The Enigma of Room 622 by Joel Dicker. The cover is beautiful and incredibly detailed, and this is a murder mystery. I'm just so excited to get to this. I don't really know much about it, and I'm hoping to go in very blind. So the next book is obviously very dependent on some of my other reads, but another book I would really love to get to this month is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I don't really need to elaborate or explain myself. This would be the next in the series. The next book I have is Nanny for the Neighbors by Lily Gold. It is a surprise baby romance. This is a thicker book, but I do actually really like thick books. I just think it gives so much more to the characters and the plot, and I feel even more accomplished when I finish them. I have also been doing the 12 books recommended by 12 friends for 12 months. It was going around Bookstagram, so I've been working into purchasing all of these books because I would really love to make it its own video, kind of rating and reviewing them. I am a bit behind though because we are now in April and I've only read 1 out of the 12. So I put 2 books on here that are part of that template. They're both romances, so I think it might be one or the other this month. The first one is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is a small town romance. And the last recommendation is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I have read 2 of her other books. I've read Confess and I've read Verity, and I really, really loved both of those. I'm always hesitant on picking this author up though. I also think it's a sad book, which makes me more hesitant. So in total, we have 17 books on my TBR for April, and that is not including the 2 new releases that I hope to get to at the end of this month. I am really excited to hit this month hard and read a lot of books. I'm participating in my bingo and a few others, and those just always inspire me to read. If you are reading any of these books, please let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Bye! How do you take thumbnails? I feel like they're all gonna look the same. I'm not creative in picture taking. It's never been my forte. Literally 6 out of these 17 books are hardbacks, and I'm fooling myself. What does this do? Ooh. Okay, bye.